What's up, you guys? So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the fourth mode of the melodic minor scale. This mode is called the Lydian Dominant scale, and its intervallic structure or construction is 1, 2, 3, sharp 11, 5, 6, and flat 7. It's called Lydian Dominant because it has the notes of Lydian, but it's also dominant. It has that sharp 11, that signature sharp 11 that the Lydian mode has, with a flat 7 on it. And that's a good way of thinking it when trying to think about which chords you can play it over. So you can play over dominant chords. Again, you have 1, 3, 5, flat 7 in between that scale, which means you can play the scale over dominant 7 chords. Now, if you stick to looking at the notes within this scale, you can figure out other chords that you can play it over, like dominant 7, dominant 9, dominant 7, sharp 11, dominant 9, sharp 11, dominant 13, sharp 11, and you can keep going. I think I got the most of them in there, but you can probably get a couple more. And that's just from the root. Of course, you can borrow from the other, you can build chords from the other degrees of the scale to create a chord progression. Now, there's a few ways that you can look at this scale to play it. One of the ways I like to look at it is by relating it to its parent scale. And like I mentioned in my older major modes videos, what this means is to look at the parent scale behind the scale. In this case, the parent scale is the melodic minor scale. Now, a good way to find which melodic minor scale you have to play to get the sound of Lydian Dominant out of a dominant chord is just to go up a fifth. Now, that's a great way to just find the melodic minor scale within the Lydian Dominant scale. You go up a fifth. So, for example, at the intro of this video, I was playing a progression which was just A7 sharp 11. That's the chord I was playing. And to relate it to that, all you got to do is you have A7 sharp 11. You go up a fifth from A, and you have E, which means you're going to play the E melodic minor scale over an A7 sharp 11 chord. Or you could play the scale starting from A. And that gets you something closer to the actual sound of Lydian Dominant. Another way of looking at it is just by learning the straight up patterns. So you learn Lydian Dominant as a scale, as a completely different scale. This is also a great way to look at it, since you're looking at it as a specific sound, which is what it is. It's a completely different scale from the melodic minor scale in terms of intervallic structure, of intervallic composition. So this is a great way of understanding exactly what makes up this scale. Now, the third way of looking at it is to relate it to a scale that you already know. So you can take, for example, there's two scales that you can start the scale from. You can play, let's say, A Lydian, which is 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's something like this. And then you flat the 7th, which means instead of playing a G sharp note, you'd play G natural. So the second way that you can look at it is by thinking about A mixolydian, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. And then adjusting that scale with the sharp 4, the sharp 11 that's missing to make it sound like Lydian Dominant. So again, the only difference between mixolydian and Lydian Dominant is the sharp 4. So you can start with mixolydian, which is this. and then add a sharp 11 to it, or just sharp the fourth scale degree, and that way you'd get Lydian Dominant, which is this. And then just keep moving that across the whole neck. Now these are three completely different ways that you can look at this scale. I suggest that you learn all three of them. But if you're just starting out with the scale right now, try to use the one that you like the most, the one that comes a little bit easier to you, and then add in the other two ways of looking at it. The more kind of ways you have, the better. The more you're going to understand the scale. I believe it's also important to know which chords stem out from the different degrees of this scale. Now, if you look at this diagram right here, you're going to have the 1, 7, the 2, 7, 3 minor 7 flat 5, sharp 4 minor 7 flat 5, 5 minor major 7, 6 minor 7, and flat 7 major 7 sharp 5. You can use these 7 chords to build different chord progressions. Alright, so that's it for this video. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys learned something new. You can click the like button if you liked it. You can leave a comment below if you have any suggestions, if you have any questions about this scale and any of its applications. And you can follow me on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can also follow me on my official website, juanantoniomusic.com. Alright, thanks for watching.